Got the game-winning field goal, a career-long field goal, 58 yards for Will Lutz to get the win. They haven't won a season opener since 2013. The Saints. Crazy. It's been a while. It's been a minute. And that first game of the year to get the win, that's important, especially for a team that ended like the way that the Saints did.
I mean, did it really end that way though? Because they ended up going into anyway.
I shouldn't have gone into that way.
You have to get that taste out of your mouth, and I think they did tonight. Ending with a great field goal, great performance, both offensively and defensively, right? You found a way to get turnovers defensively. You found a way to get to the quarterback. You said it was 6 sacks, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, so defense is playing. But again, the way the league is built, teams are going to score points. And you just got to try to find a way to get turnovers and get the ball back to your offense. And at the end of the day, Drew Brees had 37 seconds, and that was too much time.
Drew Brees, I mean, what a luxury. Whether you're a defender, whether you're somebody else on the offense, a role player, whatever the case may be, you got 37 seconds. We were sitting here on the air when that happened, and I'm like, man, I don't know if he's going to do it. But every Saints fan, even yourself, oh, they got Drew Brees. It's all good. What a luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you pay that guy $25 to $30 million. That's when I need my quarterback to be great in the last 2 minutes of the game. I don't need him to be great when we're running the ball all awesome. Our defense is shutting everybody down. Everything's wide open. I need my quarterback to do this, dissect a defense at the most critical time of a game. And that's what Drew Brees showed today. I mean, they would not have been nowhere without Drew Brees in this game tonight.
I feel like, too, when we talk about the great quarterbacks in this league, Drew Brees is definitely one of them. But it's always Tom Brady. It's always Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson gets the love, too. But Drew Brees, for some reason, is a lot of times just overlooked.
Because Drew's one of those guys who puts that hard hat on and he just works. He doesn't do too much talking. He's not in all these different commercials. I think he had one little Wrangler commercial a couple years ago. But Drew's one of those guys, he's just steady and just consistent. And I've always put Drew Brees up there with the great ones. I don't know if it's because I was in that division for a little while, so I had to see him a lot or what. But Drew Brees definitely he kept my dream alive for the Saints winning the Super Bowl. They were my pick. And winning that division, man.
What did you guys think of the new running backs that we got to see? We got to see Latavius Murray.
Yeah.
And Mark Ingram for the first time in a while.
Hyde, baller.
So this is the thing. This Texans team hasn't had a running back like Carlos Hyde in a long time. And I was kind of concerned to see how they were going to utilize him. But the way he runs downhill in that stretch scheme stretch scheme that he ran at San Francisco, I mean, he is the bruising back that they want. They tried to get it in Foreman when they drafted him, didn't work out. Obviously, Lamar Miller goes down. Now you have a first and second down back in Carlos Hyde. Now you have a third down back in Duke Johnson, who you can utilize in certain situations. We saw both of them play really well. Now we're starting to see a little bit more running game. Should help keep Deshaun Watson upright and not having to, take his helmet off all the time. So
I need a lot of more running game.
Yeah, and we saw Deshaun Watson use his legs a lot too tonight. But the winning quarterback was Drew Brees, so let's hear from him right now.
Go ahead. Very, very confident. Obviously, that was a long field goal, but I think it was a good thing that we had attempted one from pretty much that same spot, earlier in the game. So he had a look at it and. Just a ton of confidence. I think for all of us just to get back into that situation where we had a chance to win the game, I think we all felt like it was going to happen. And the minute you heard that ball go off his foot, it was a thundering kick. I think we all knew it was going through the uprights.
Was the Texans defense playing further off than you expected? Did you change something there on that last pass with 2 seconds left, the completion?
They really that whole drive, I think that, first of all, the challenge of that drive was 37 seconds, one timeout, and you want to try to save that timeout if at all possible. So, you need chunks, obviously, to put yourself in field goal range, and I felt like we did a really good job. We practiced that, I think we felt like we knew exactly what we needed to do in order to give ourselves a chance to win, and big completion to Ted Ginn, clock it, big completion to Mike, clock it, and then get up there and assess what they're doing. And I have the ability to get us into whatever play we need to get into that is going to put us in position to win that game. And Ted did a great job all day long. Ted, he had 7 targets, 7 catches, over 100 yards, a couple really big plays, especially in the fourth quarter.
First, second and 10, did you feel like we can't burn the timeout here. We got to get one more play off and just clock it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a big difference as to your flexibility as an offense when you have a timeout, and then how a defense is going to defend you. If they know you have to get out of bounds, it becomes much easier for them to defend. So it's protect that timeout at all costs, and even though you're spiking it with 6 seconds left, we're okay. We can get the yardage we need to put ourselves in a position to kick the game winner.
Didn't hear much of J.J. Watt tonight. Just what do you think of Ramczak's performance?
Thought he did a phenomenal job all game long. Really, that entire front did. I think early on, when you after the first half, I think you looked at the numbers and felt like, man, we got to get back to running the ball a little bit more. Felt like we had put together some long drives, but we got in some big plays, and I think there was a lot of stuff in the passing game and not necessarily in the run, but I think we finished off with about 180 yards rushing, 7 yards a carry. Really both sides rushed. They rushed it really well too. But listen, it was just two really good teams going at it. Two playoff caliber teams from a year ago, with really good offenses and really good defenses and a lot of explosive players all over the field, and just a battle all game long.
Deshaun Watson even better than advertised from what you've seen off film? Just watching.
Oh, he's a very good player. He's so versatile. He can throw the ball from the pocket. You see what happens when he's able to get out of the pocket. Obviously, he's a good athlete, so he can get yardage with his legs, but just his ability to create. You saw him create on some 3rd and longs, and they were able to get out of some tough situations because of his versatility.
You're on a drive like that last drive. Are you looking for matchups, or are you just looking for the open man?
Well, I'm always looking for matchups, but because they are playing a bit more, conservative. I mean, listen, every defense plays it a little different, and you're going to see, typically you see something in that situation that you haven't seen all game long, and so you've got to be able to react on the fly, and everybody has to know that, listen, this may be your matchup, it might be your opportunity, just like it was on the first throw with Ted, the second throw with Mike, and then back to Ted. Those guys had the matchup, so those guys got the ball.
What kind of impact does Kamara have when he's being so versatile on the field?
Yeah, he's a stud, man. His that one run he made when we got backed up, I think after the holding call, was pretty impressive. In the fourth quarter, he made some great plays, really all game long, both in the run game and the passing game. So yeah, having a guy like him is good for me.
Drew, you talked about matchups. What did you see on the Taysom Hill touchdown pass?
Well, I saw Mike Thomas get a ton of attention, and they just let Taysom run free. I felt like they did a good job, all game long with the stuff that they were doing, and yet, there were times where, they give some attention to Mike, and that'll open up opportunities elsewhere for other people. And on that play, it just happened to be Taysom.
Are you happy to just get this first season opening win since the 2013 season? What's that?
Yeah, it's hard to believe, right? But yes, it's great to start the season off with a win, start in the positive. Obviously, we know the stretch of games we have coming up here. Here we are in a short week playing the Rams, right, in LA, and then up to Seattle, and then back here to Dallas on Sunday Night Football. So kind of the gauntlet here for the first quarter of the season. So we know what we're up against. We know we got to make improvements very, very quickly because we need to be playing our best football.
Drew, how many times do you think you worked on that similar scenario in practice? 37 seconds left, you got to go.
I can't remember the last time we worked on that. You work on a ton of 2-minute situations, but most of the time it's, hey, you've got a minute 50 and 1 timeout and you need a touchdown, or maybe you have 50 seconds, 2 timeouts, and you need a field goal. Most of the time you don't have just 30 seconds, 37 seconds and 1 timeout and need a field goal. But I think we do put ourselves in those situations a lot in practice, where you have to be very precise. You have to know how to manage the clock to put yourself in a position to win.
Did you always know where you need to get real less to it?
He's got a big leg, which is great. Obviously, kicking the dome here too. He's, his first game as a Saint was the opening game of 2016, where he attempted a 61-yarder. I think he had the leg for it against the Raiders. So I knew if we could just get them a little closer, it'd be even better.
Sorry if you got asked this, but the runoff call at the end of the first half, did anyone make sense of what was going on as that was happening?
No. I still don't know what the deal was. Someone came up to me in the locker room and said that the league acknowledged that there was a mistake that was made, that 10 seconds should not have run off, that we should have had 31 seconds left. Instead, we only had 16. So, listen, that can't happen. I mean, that's a game changer, right? We end up having to kick a 58-yard field goal or whatever it was, attempt a 58-yarder. If we had 15 more seconds, are you kidding me? You know, we're going to get closer. So that's a game changer. That can't happen.
Drew, talk about your that fumble recovery that he had.
Yeah. Well, I think they blew the ball dead, but he contributed. He did a great job. I'm really excited as we go along here too, because listen, we know what Mike can do, we know what Jared can do, we know what what Alvin can do, we know what Ted can do, and now these young players, and now Jared Cook having these opportunities, getting matchups, they're going to be big contributors in this offense as we move forward.
First game with Eric before center. What was that sort of like?
Business as usual, I felt like he hung in there. He did a really good job. He's got a great group around him. They work so well together. But yeah, give him a lot of credit. First game out to have a game and a win like this on Monday Night Football at home has got to mean something. All right, guys, thanks.
A big night there for Drew Brees on the left side of your screen. Now let's go to the right side. J.J. Watt about to speak right now.
Gets down the field really quickly, and then Brees is able to get a field goal out of the deal.
Yeah, the offense did an incredible job. I mean, the offense deserves a ton of credit for the way they played, especially in the second half. And then obviously that last drive giving us the lead. And then as a defense, that's on us. I mean, there's a lot of things that were on us. Holding 3 points in the first half and then give up 27 in the second. I mean, it's terrible. So for our offense to give us the lead with whatever it was, 40 seconds left, and to not win that game, I mean, it's bad football by us on defense, and so we will take 100% of that blame, as we should.
What changed defensively going into the second half? The way y'all did a really good job.
I mean, obviously they made some adjustments at halftime, and I think they ran the ball more in the second half than they ran in the first half, and they got to the end zone. They scored points. They did a good job, and we didn't. We didn't do a good job of stopping the run. We didn't do a job of stopping the pass, obviously. So what we did well in the first half, we did not do well in the second half.
Knowing that an NFL season is very long, lots of highs, lots of lows, how important is it for a team to ignore those highs, stay even keel, and just stay focused on what's in front of you?
Yeah, it's extremely important. I mean, you have a kind of a 24-hour rule in the NFL. You get 24 hours after the game to feel the emotions of it, whether they're good or bad. So we'll feel the effects of this one for 24 hours, and you have to. I mean, if you don't learn from it, if you don't let it hit you, then there's no consequences to your actions. And so I think that you have to feel those consequences to know that you don't want to feel those again. And I think that, sadly, we're going to have to deal with those for the next 24 hours, and then we're going to put it behind us, and we're going to move on to Jacksonville. But for right now, it does hurt.
What's it like to watch your quarterback have to go to the medical tent 3 times and come right back out there?
I mean, he's a competitor. He's a great player. He obviously put us in a position to win the game, and we didn't do enough to help him. And so, like I said earlier, as the leader of the defense, I take that 100% on my shoulders. And we'll watch it, we'll figure it out, and we'll get it right for next Sunday.
How frustrating is it as a defensive player to have so many, players coming at you so much, because almost on every play you're either double team or triple team?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to that. I've been dealing with it a lot of my career, and tonight was no different for sure. It's very frustrating, but that's something you deal with when you're in the position that I'm in, and so you got to find a way to get there, and tonight I didn't, and I take that on me, and I'm gonna find a way to get there, and we'll find a way to make some things happen, and but yeah, I mean, it's certainly tough, but we'll figure it out. Thank you.